Hi, I'm Greg, and today I'm going to show you how to make a Flemish twist bowstring, which means it has a loop at both ends. So the stuff we're going to use today is this. This is called B55. It's a nice, reliable string material, so we use it on all of our experienced day bows. So we're all ready to go, and we're going to make the string on this string jig, and it's basically a space saver. It allows us to make a full-length bowstring in a much more compact area. And you can see that I've already started off by tying off the string to peg number 1 with a clove hitch. So I'm going to take the string around these pegs and just following them round with the arrows. So I've got to number 5 and I'm going to go all the way back until I get all the way back here to number 1. So I want to make a 12 strand string, but at the moment I've only got 1, 2. So I'm going to keep going now, backwards and forwards, until I've got 12 strands back at peg number 1. All right, so here we go. Follow the arrows. Okay, so we've come all the way back to peg number 1, and I think I'm about there, but I always double check just to make sure. And yes, we have 12 strands. So I've taken it off the peg and I'm ready to start making the first Flemish twist loop. But first I have to snip it right here and just trim the excess, and we're ready to go. So I'm ready to begin the Flemish twist, and I need to give myself enough material for that to happen. So what I'm going to do is a quick measurement with my hands, keeping the two halves separate. And I've also applied a little bit of beeswax to help with this process, because I want to keep the string under tension by twisting both sides to the right and crossing to the left. It's a lot easier to do that with a bit of wax on the string, helps with the grip. Okay. What I'm aiming for is to get 1.5 inches worth of braid. So now I'm going to fold the braid over on itself to make a loop, and I'm going to make my life easier by using this middle peg. So I'm going to put it over that and take the tails down either half of the string. And the next stage to braid this together is, yeah, you guessed it, it's twist to the right and cross to the left. So what I'm aiming to do is I'm aiming to braid beyond the end of the tails. So I'm just going to keep going all the way down to the bottom of these tails where they're sticking out. And you can see this braid getting longer and longer. Okay, so what I like to do is I take the ends of the tails out of the way because they get really fiddly otherwise, and I just fold the ends over, and then I can let go and they will stay trapped where I want them to be. And I can just carry on. Twist to the right, cross to the left. And those ends there that are just poking out now, I can snip those off later, trim them up, make it look nice and neat. All right, there it is. So I have got my first loop. So the result of having done the first loop is that I now have all these turns in the rest of the string here. But I can undo those by adding in some positive turns. So I'm just going to take it off the loop, twist it the other way, and they should all disappear nicely. So now all of those turns are gone. I'm going to carry on twisting so that the string gets some strength and ends up exactly how I want it to be. So I'm going to put this loop onto peg number 1, which is going to give it some room. And I'm going to snip the end from peg number 5. Again, being careful to keep both sides separate. There we go. And I can then tidy it up by putting it on the jig in the right way. Like that. So I'm going to make the string for a 77-inch bow, and I need to figure out where to start my braid. And the correct place in this case is to start right here at 74 inches. So I place my finger through the strands, being careful to keep them separate. And I'd start the process again. So I'm twisting to the right once more and crossing to the left. So I'm keeping it all under tension, making sure these twists are nice and tight. And as you can see, the braids are nice and close together. Again, I'm looking for a braid that is 1.5 inches long or so. And I shall braid the tails back into the string in exactly the same way. We're almost there. Okay, ready to go. Once again, I'm going to use the middle peg because it's the most convenient place to hook things up. All right, it's beginning to take shape again. Once again, keeping the braids nice and tight, making sure they're all close together. And I'm going to try and match the amount of braids on the top half or on the top loop, just by looking at them. And again, what I can do here is put the ends of the tails to one side, keeping them nice and neat. There we go. And crossing the string over so they get trapped. Pull them out and they can get trimmed up later. So carrying on braiding past where the ends of those tails have been taken out. That should do. But once again, I've got turns in the bottom of the string right here. So I need to untwist those and twist the whole string up together so it's nice and tight. Twisting this anti-clockwise, and all of these turns will begin to disappear, and then it will begin to twist up the string in the right way. Because if I leave those in, they will unravel and the string will just come apart. Okay. All I'm going to do to finish is trim these tails so that the string looks neat. And there we are. And that's how to make a bowstring. Try it yourself at home, or if you prefer to come and learn from us direct, we do this as part of our 2-day laminate bow making course, links to which you can find in the description below. And that's all for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.